SEAL team, as Sonny Quinn, as Sonny Quinn.
Sonny Quinn?
Sonny Quinn.
Sonny Quinn. I'm a SEAL.
What was the most demanding scene?
I was trapped in a submarine tube. I totally peed in my wetsuit and said anything. Like I was trying to warm myself up. Maybe this would work. It worked for 2 minutes. And then I was like, now I'm sitting in my pee. But whatever. I'm a fake SEAL.
Staying in shape and what that looks like.
Just did a bunch of cocaine and that got me shredded. That's my trick. Totally kidding, listeners. There was a definite dopamine hit when I ate that. I was like, I'm coming back to you, pretty lady. But I was like, well, that's not a fart.
Why did they end it how they ended it? All right, everyone. Welcome back to Country Outdoors Podcast. I am your host, Mary O'Neill Phillips, and I am coming to you today from no stranger to the show, my good buddy AJ Buckley's studio. Yes. This is where he records his show, the AJ Buckley Podcast. Something that I find really interesting is when I look at different athletes and actors and what it takes to maintain that physique for upcoming roles and then during filming. And so I thought it would be cool if AJ kind of ran through what it looked like on a daily basis in his routine and then go into shooting and even tell us about some of the most extreme scenes that you shot and the physicality behind that. Okay. But let's start with staying in shape and what that looks like on a daily basis on the perfect day.
Well, it's good to be on your show in my studio. This is great.
G'day, mates. It's your host, Mary O'Neill Phillips, and you are listening to Country Outdoors Podcast.
For me, being in shape and fitness and all that sort of stuff it was never really something that was part of my life as a kid. I wasn't like this amazing athlete, or training wasn't per se something that I was, gifted in. Hard work that sort of got me the roles that I got was just by me making a decision at one point in my life where it was after my dad had died. I'd gotten an opportunity for a really big franchise pick, and I had not been focused. I just had my daughter, and the opportunity slipped through my fingers. And part of it was the studio was like, hey, we love him. He's perfect for the role. He's the best actor that came in, but we don't have enough time to get him ready. And I'll never forget that because it was sort of like, oh, wow, I let myself go. I wasn't prepared, even though my talent had gotten me into – the thing is, the roles that I wanted to go out for and the roles that I dreamt about doing, this sort of action sort of place where I've landed now, I wasn't focused. And so I made a promise to my wife and my newborn daughter at the time that I was never going to let that happen again. And I went and got a trainer, and I basically made getting in shape my job. I actually then fell in love with training, and I really implemented it into my characters. As soon as I was to get cast for something, I'd be like, okay, what does this look like? And if I was lucky enough to have enough time and some leeway on how I could transform, because the body really it's like 8 to 12 weeks of you need to commit. There's shortcuts to get to certain things and, which we can go into, but in order to really sort of change the trajectory in a safe way, it's usually 8 to 12 weeks. But you need a good baseline. You can't be you can't be one extreme to the other. Like this last project that I did, I actually had to lose a lot of size that I've had on and not be as muscular or as thing, which was actually kind of really weird because it's been for so long. For the longest time, I'd be to fit in a medium shirt for forever. And I fit it. I was like, but I just did it. I'm enjoying where I have, where I'm lifting heavier and doing my routine. But for this one role in particular, the director was like, hey, I don't need you as big. I'd kind of actually like if you were shrunk down a little bit. So just did a bunch of cocaine, and that got me shredded. That's my trick. Back to you. No, that's a terrible idea. Totally kidding, listeners. I think for my daily routine now is, first and foremost being a dad, but sort of juggling that that schedule, which is the most important thing to me, and then all the things I have going on during the day, which is pretty full day. So I like to, on a perfect day, is I'm up at 4:30. Producer Sean will get a random text from me at that hour, and he's like, "What the hell is AJ doing?
Leave me alone."
Yeah. So it's usually where I start my day and get things going. I really try and implement. I'm not perfect, but I do try and implement when I wake up in the morning. Like, don't go near the phone, don't look at it, just start your routine. And I've built like a little biohacking thing in my basement here. I've been very lucky to get to do that. And over the years, there's been guys that I've from Uberman to Ben Greenfield, guys that have really I've gotten a lot of advice from, not per se personally, but just by watching them. And it's been all about the recovery, bringing your inflammation markers down, getting your blood work done, understanding where your hormone levels are at. Because after my dad passed away, I didn't realize like my hormones were completely shot, and I was making no testosterone, all this sort of thing. So it sort of added to a bunch of things. And once I sort of went and got my blood work done, and which is something as a man you should do every 6 months to a year at most. I'm actually due to go get my blood work done. Get that, go to the right place. For the viewers at home, I highly recommend this one company called PureX. They're one of our sponsors of the show. Amazing place, PureX. What is it? What's the website? aj.purex.gov. These guys, it's white glove service. You go in, they'll send you to get your blood work done, get your hormone panel, and then you're actually basing your workouts and your diet on what's happening on the inside. Because so much of it would be like, oh, this worked and this worked, but you're like, I tried that and it didn't work. And then you realize when you go get your blood work done that, everything's off. Your testosterone's low, your estrogen's high, whatever it is that it is. And they've got great peptide therapy. So I highly recommend starting there. Know what's going inside. You can't, somebody gave me this analogy. It's like you bring your car in to get fixed, and the guy doesn't open up the hood, but he's like, yeah, it's your carburetor. I'm going to change your tires. But he doesn't look at anything. He just charges you. So you could be doing anything, and it's not fixing what's going on. And most of the time, I'd say 99% of the time, the fat that we need to worry about is the visceral fat that's wrapped around the organs and all this sort of stuff. And all the things with your liver, and especially if you drink and, the processed foods and all that sort of stuff has done so much damage over the years. So for me personally, there's little tricks I've learned on the way that have actually really made me feel amazing. And part of that is like supplementation. So in the morning, the first thing I do when I wake up, before I start anything, I'll blend a whole lemon with olive oil. I'll get some salt, some water, some ice.
Is the lemon whole?
The whole lemon. Yeah.
Like the skin and everything?
Everything, yeah. Yep. Just wash it, and you should look, I believe it's number 9 on fruit to make sure that it's organic. Mm-hmm. Don't get anything lower than 9. I think I'm correct on that, but I might be wrong. We can double check. But 9 is the number I usually look for, or you go to farmer's market and get good lemons, or just buy a lemon tree, put it in your backyard. But you put the lemon, blend it in with, I do methane blue and some creatine, and then I do colostrum. I put that all in. That's the very first thing that I do in the morning. Creatine has become a huge thing for me now. There's been so many studies that have talked about creatine for brain health. Like a lot of the team guys that I worked with, they would go on these long missions and they would supplement creatine, and it would, if you were short, if you had a bad sleep or you were sleep deprived, if you take 20 grams of creatine, it will help your brain function as if it fully had sleep. So I usually before a podcast will take a bunch of creatine and stuff, and do that. And that's what I start the day up. And then I don't eat for the next couple hours, and I'll go downstairs. And I'm lucky enough that I've set up this little system here. So I have a cold plunge and a sauna. And what I'll do first is I'll get the sauna going, get it up to about 200, and I'll jump in the cold plunge. I'll do 3 minutes in that. Then I'll go in the sauna, do 20 minutes at 200 plus. Then I'll go back in the cold plunge, and I do that 3 times. Then I go over to a thing called the EWOT machine. It sounds very thing, but it's exercise. EWOT, EWOT, exercise with oxygen therapy. And then I'll get on the bike, and I'll cycle with that, a little Peloton, but you're under oxygen with that. And then this sounds crazy, but I have a red light that I turn on, and I put that on, and I'll cycle with that. And then I go over to a PEMF mat, and that helps with like grounding, electricity, all sorts of different things. Some people are like, that's some weird shit. It 100% is, but I feel a difference, and there's some good science behind it. And then I'll end in a hyperbaric chamber. I'll either, if I have time, because that can take up a lot of time, I will do either hyperbaric chamber at the end of the day or midday. I'll take like a little nap in there, and it's awesome. I cannot stress enough getting a hyperbaric chamber. And the sort of the logic I used on it was, you can go to a spa and spend X amount a month at a spa, like $1,200 for like 10 sessions. And I was like, oh, what happens if you like finance it? It was like less than half to finance it forever. So, and these are some of the people that we show you. We've done some sponsorships with them, and I'm not talking about them because they became sponsors, but I was already a fan of the product. Again, I'm very lucky that I was able to sort of set up this system. There's different hacks you can kind of get around it between ice, doing the cold plunge, do a cold shower, oxygen, the EWAT machine, go for a run. These are just different ways you can do it. And because I'm training so much, depending on what the role is, these are more for recovery than anything. So when I wake up in the morning, I make that orange or the lemon olive oil mix. Then I'll head downstairs, get my little circuit in. My boys usually would come down halfway through, so it turns into a little bro session in the Iron Jungle. I don't have many weights down there as of yet. We're in the process sort of building it out. But it's my way sort of just to start the day. If I can get down there earlier, because sometimes I wake up, my mind's going, I will. And I just sort of go through my routine. The biggest thing for me now, more than anything, is mobility. So I'll stretch and I'll do this I actually do this thing on the internet. I'll show you guys. I do this stretching warm-up thing that I saw on Instagram. And the lady was like, do this for 21 days and your life will change. And it's just like twisting, sort of like a Tai Chi sort of thing. I'm telling you, it's amazing. And then I'll head to the gym. Then I'll get the kids, get them ready, get fed, head out the door, drop them off, and then I'll go straight to the gym and I'll lift. And depending on what the role is, depending on what the goal is, it's either heavy or circuit training or whatever it is.
If you hunt, you know how easy it is to lose track of where you are, especially around property lines. That's why here at Country Outdoors, we only use onX Hunt, the #1 hunting app. It shows public and private boundary lines, so you always know where you stand. We use it for scouting, marking spots, and even navigating. It just takes the guesswork out of everything. If you want to hunt smarter this season, go check out onX Hunt at onxmaps.com and know where you stand.
I'm finding, like, when I did SEAL team, I was carrying so much. I was like 220 when I was on SEAL team. And at first it was like 215 or 210, like when I was healthy. And then when I got the back injury, then it like got to like 220, 230. And I was just like, couldn't move. And I just didn't know how to get this weight off. But my sleep and everything, since I've got back more down to my normal size, not this size, but sort of in between, it's way much better because it's carrying all this extra weight. But there's so many studies now that say, how, being sedentary, muscle denseness, that was pretty stupid. Muscle density, how important that is going into your later part of your life. And when I started hearing that stuff, I was like, well, I'm a dad. I love my kids. I want to be, the most jacked dad in the neighborhood for sure. That's a little ego thing. 100% my kids be like, my dad's more jacked than your dad. 100% want that. It's true. It's total ego. I was never an athlete, but I will take it now. I'm like, suck on this. But yeah, and then just, it's just all about inflammation markers and taking care of yourself within that and consistency. For me, carnivore diet, I'm a big component. I put Zach on it. And and we put Jason Hart on it too. For all of you out there who know Jason Hart, well, I tell you. I love Jason Hart, but the key is just to bring down inflammation. And that's from our food. And when I did that and just eliminated everything and just ate meat, it was like steak for breakfast, steak for lunch, steak for dinner, steak and egg, steak and egg and cheese.
Would you have butter?
Yeah, tons of butter, fat and meat. That's all it is. And for me, that works. Some people are like, but I was skeptical at the beginning. And my doctor, one of the doctors at the time, not my nutritionist, but my doctor, which are two totally different things because they're, first of all, a lot of doctors believed in the food pyramid, which is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
So my doc was like, well, it could spike your LDLs and all this sort of bad cholesterol. It didn't do any of that. Like my blood work was the best it's ever been when I did carnivore. And when I'm filming, I'm 100%, like maybe 99%, but I don't mess around. And I just feel like I'm in work mode.
Are you intermittent fasting at all?
Intimate? Am I intimate with
Are you intimate with your fasting? Are you doing fasting?
Oh, intimate.
Intermittent?
I was like, intimate with my fasting. I'm like, this is weird. Well, when I don't eat, I get a little intimate with myself. I get some, no, we'll stop there. No, I do intermittent fasting. I usually do it on like I'll during the week. It just all depends when I'm filming, because when you're away somewhere and you're in a hotel and you just have like it's workout, work, home, study, sleep, and you're just so everything is just there. And I'm a creature of habit with being at home and real life stuff, and my kids are number one, being a dad and being a husband. So things take priority. But if I can, I will. It's a lot easier when you're in your own routine. I highly recommend at least, once a week doing some type of fast. I've yet to do the 3-day water fast. I just have to get the chutzpah to do it. I do want to try though, which I've been reading about a lot, is the 5-day only sardines for 5 days. I don't know but I've just seen a lot of people and some online people that I follow that have been talking about it, how it's good. They say 3 to 5 days of sardines could be good because you're getting all your proper fats.
The Primal Queen girl talks about that a lot.
Yeah. So I might try that. I might just try it. But you have to do it at the right time. Like you can't be in like I've got to put on size and then I'm going to do this. Like, so while I'm in sort of the down cycle in between jobs, maybe it's a good thing to try. Another thing I really want to try. I've done it once before, but not a deep one. I would do a parasite cleanse because
I need to do one too.
And just I think there's a book called The Beast Within or something like that.
Yeah,
and it talks about all it's so nasty. So I'd like to do that again. That all has to do with your inner
gut,
and it's amazing though too how much like you'll go get a hormone panel done from like your GP. And they don't check half the stuff that they need to check, like your free testosterone, all these, like a really detailed sort of thing. So I would highly recommend someone going and get a very detailed hormone panel, both men and women. It changes everything. It changes like your relationship, just in your marriage and everything. It just like if you're like down, depressed or anything, sluggish, it's something else is off, and it's probably to do with your hormones. But that in itself, that workout schedule, kids, that's like the sort of base, and then just
how much sleep are you getting? When are you going to bed on an ideal night?
Well, I usually go to sleep on my ghost bed, and I'm not kidding. Ghost bed is the greatest bed I've ever slept on. Yeah, highly recommend it. It literally changed my life. But around 8:30, I'm passed out. Yeah, like because I'm up so early with the kids. And or like the kids at nighttime, is it a bad dream or something like? I mean, you guys were here for the weekend, so I mean, last night I went to bed early, and then I think at like 2:00 the boys, and then 4:00 it was Willow. So we had all 5 kids and the dog in our bed. Yeah, but that's awesome. Those days will be not around one day, and I'll be sad. So I'm like, I'm here for it. But on a perfect thing, 8 hours. And I'll put that like from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's usually there. As long as I don't wake up. Something wakes me up. As soon as I wake up, my mind starts going, I've got to get up. Mm-hmm. I cannot. It's so hard for me to go back to sleep.
stop. So I've actually been looking at buying land myself, and it's made me realize how important it is to have the right lender. And that's why I love what Rural First are doing. They specialize in land and rural financing, and they even invest back into rural communities, which I personally love. So if you're curious, like I am, go and check them out at ruralfirst.com. Loans subject to credit approval and eligibility. Additional terms and conditions may apply. Farm Credit Mid-America is an equal housing lender. Rural First is a registered trademark of Farm Credit Mid-America, NMLS 407249. Rural First products are available to consumers within the territories of participating farm credit system associations. What are you drinking of a daytime?
Vodka. No. If I can, it'll be. I have like those embarrassingly big Stanley Cup things, but I'll do some type of electrolyte, or I'll just do straight salt and water and a lemon. But I'll try and if I can get when I'm.
You're going to be really sad when I tell you about this, but I just saw something about putting lemon in the Stanley and Yeti cups, and there's something that erodes it. And really? So it was about like us like thinking that we're doing the right thing, giving our kids like lemon water and all of this, but it's actually like toxic.
Awesome.
I know. So
well, you just ruined my day.
Yeah.
Well, I won't
get copper.
Yeah. We're onto something. Copper Stanleys.
Yeah.
Are they out there?
Trademark.
Trademark. We're gonna figure it out. No, I my nutritionist Kevin Libby, who's I think one of the best nutritionists out there. He's somebody that really changed my life. And this other guy, Rayhan Rajali, two guys that I met in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And I was very lucky. Like I was surrounded by, when you get a job with these, you get put with the best people in the world because the studio wants you to look a certain way. So in a sense, because I didn't, grow up like an athlete with a regimen of training and stuff like that, this became sort of like my thing. But now if I don't train, if I'm not in the gym, I think I am not myself.
Yeah.
So, and especially if my diet is off because I eat so clean, it affects me in so many other ways. And even too, it's like what's crazy, what's depressing. Like I will go when we're filming overseas, I can eat anything.
Yeah.
I can eat the bread. I can eat, whatever it is, and I don't have the problems that I have. Here, because of obvious reasons, our food system is so thick, even down to what, the minerals that you're supposed to get in your diet, because the soil is so, sprays and all the other stuff. So for me, it's like, look, you'll go crazy trying to find the perfect thing, and it's not. You just have to one little thing at a time. So don't try and do it all at once. Just attack one thing that week. I'm going to get up at this time. Mm-hmm. Start there. Mm-hmm. After you can get up and then I'm going to, once I get there, implement, okay, I'm going to go for first thing in the morning, 15-minute walk. I'm going to try the lemon thing or whatever, but don't try and do everything all at once.
Yeah, because you'll burn out.
Yeah, you'll burn out and you're setting yourself up to fail. So I'm always just do these things. Now it becomes sort of, it's part of my thing. And again, I have to pull audibles every day because of family. But I feel the difference when I'm 100% on, which is incredibly hard to do. But then when you're off, I'll go 3 days of where I've just finished something and I'll eat a bunch of stuff and I'm feel like absolute dog. Yeah,
you feel so lethargic and puffy face and So I wanted to ask you about that though as well, puffiness.
Yeah.
So say you guys are traveling for a role or something like that, and I get super bloated when I fly. I don't know if you do. What do you do when you land for lymphatic drainage and stuff like that?
So there's a bunch of different things. I try and hydrate a bunch prior to,
okay.
And I'll usually get an IV before I fly.
Okay.
So if you can get an IV, they're great. They're popped up all those IV clinics. Just get that in it, because it's people make the mistake even with drinking. They're I'm going to get an IV in the morning. If you get it the day before, then your body's stocked, right? You're still going to feel like dog shit because it's alcohol. But traveling is all about hydration. And if you're going on a long flight, try and not drink on the plane because something that happens with the alcohol, I don't know the exact scientific stuff, but it's way worse so that when you come down. And then the food on the plane is just so full of salt.
So, yeah.
But give yourself grace. It's like you're traveling, put your feet up, relax. It just, it's like if you can, and it will make my wife crazy sometimes. We'll land somewhere and I'll be like, I'm going to go work out. Like I land and get a workout in
or
right
get
away.
a sauna in too.
Sauna is like the best. Like I can't say enough good things about taking a sauna. So if you land, get a sauna, do the thing. It's just to get into your body. I feel like acclimates quicker. Even if it's just like a 20, 30 minute run or walk, or a great way to go see the city. Just go for a little walk around and do that. Another thing, which I need to implement more, but when I was doing it, it was really good. As soon as you're done eating, if you can get up and go for a 20 to 30 minute walk right after your bed, there's so many studies, I don't know what they are, don't quote me on them, that shows that in itself, like instead of just eating and going to bed, just that 20-minute walk, what it does for your digestion, all that sort of stuff is really good. So again, I'm still figuring some things out on what works best, but the core of it basically is get up in the morning, ignore your phone, start your day with like stillness, and put something good in your body. That the lemon and the olive oil, it's all good for alkalinity, a bunch of other reasons. The creatine's really good, and then do some sort of either breath work or whatever you have at your home, whatever it is. Whether it's actually my buddy Charlie just texted me and he's like, dude, you want to? He's like, I want to do this challenge with you where you do 70 push-ups in the morning and 70 push-ups at night. And you got to do it for 30 days. I'm like, okay. He's like, I did it and it feels awesome. I'm like, all right. So I might be doing the 70-70 challenge for 30 days. See what happens. Yeah. So stuff like that. I think it's like finding people that are sort of the same thought pattern. I hate working out with somebody that's a talker. I don't want to work out with them. I want to go in, put my headphones on. We know we have the routine, and we go. Some people go to the gym, and it's like
social.
It's like I can't. I'll see people, and I love them day to day, but I'll just be like, "What's up?" And I gotta because at half the time I've got this. Is the other thing too. I used to wake up and put in my a podcast that was a political podcast or something in my thing, and I would listen to, and I'd be like, "Oh man," and I wouldn't understand why I wasn't fired up, obviously. But then there's this podcast called Motiversity. And I just put it in. So it's just some dude just telling you, he's just firing you up for 20 minutes. And it's or it's just other great, Tom Brady or all these other athletes that are giving their motivation to do. So I'll listen to that, just sort of real positive sort of things. And then I'll just go into some good music. But yeah, just kind of stay away from any sort of stuff that's going to throw you off. And then just get into the gym. And you can literally, if you make it in a rule in the gym, don't look at your phone. Like phones, texting, Instagram, and you can build it out. Like I've got this app, it's called On the X, I believe, that I train on the X. I've trained with, and it's awesome because it keeps you very engaged, and everything is every minute and stuff. So again, this is years and years and years of figuring out what worked for me. The overall thing is getting up and moving.
Just do it.
Just just get up and move. We've never in humanity ever
sat as much.
Oh my God. We're, even there was a guy, I saw this guy that was a gamer, and he had to shave his head. Did you see this?
I think I did see something.
He shaved his head, and he had an indent on his skull from wearing a headset all the time from his thing.
Bad.
And they were there's some AI renditions of what this society will look like in 10 years. And we're just all hunched and we have this new form, this bubbly looking head. I mean, it's I'm pretty militant. Is that a word, militant?
Yeah.
With my kids and social media. They're not anywhere near, but TV and iPads and, just get them outside as much as possible. Because there's just so much time is wasted on that thing. And I'm faulted for it too. I will sit there doing work and then realize, I don't know what happens to time, but you'll do some work and you'll be like, what time is it? So as much as you can limit it. But again, it just get up, get moving, and put the right things in your body. You know what you're eating, if it's good or bad. It might taste good, but when you get the sweats right after,
What are absolute no-nos for you food-wise?
Oh, well, I'm allergic to lobster, so that will kill me. And that one came on out of nowhere because I used to eat lobster, and then all of a sudden I was told I can't. And I really can't.
Wow.
I should carry an EpiPen, and I don't. But it's any like
Fast food.
yeah. That will do it, and road trips and stuff too. Because I prefer to drive my truck than fly. I just really enjoy driving my truck.
Yeah.
Airports, I think nowadays too, especially flying from Charleston, you always have to fly to another airport, and it's usually canceled or delayed. So it takes 10 hours to get somewhere that I could have driven in 3. So it's hard to do. You really have to, depending on where I'm at, if I'm training for something, I have to
prepare.
I'll have to prepare. If it's not a thing, like I just drove up to North Carolina to go to this fundraiser with Austin Dillon, and I got to a late start and hit a bunch of traffic, and I was like, I stopped this place called Whataburger.
Mm-hmm.
That burger tasted delicious.
Yeah.
But let me tell you,
Oh boy.
I don't feel that good after.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was what did I eat burger?
Yeah.
It was why'd I do that to myself?
Yeah.
But it tasted really good. I was like, damn, this is good. And the fries like, this is delicious. I had Coca-Cola. I was like, oh, America. And then like 3 truck stops later, I was like, dear Lord, stop. So I mean, nothing against Whataburger, because it did do the magic. There was a definite dopamine hit when I ate that. I was like, I'm coming back to you, pretty lady. But that
20 minutes later,
yeah,
you went straight to the toilet.
I went about 40 minutes. I was like, well, that's not a fart. So
there's something about American meat. I'm sorry, but it's just there's something, I don't know. At home, it's like pure Angus. We were talking about this the other day, and I'm like, I called it the Nashville injection. When I moved to Nashville, I put on like 15 pounds in a couple of months, and it was just like the bread has sugar in it. Like,
the food's delicious in Nashville.
It's the food is delicious, but there's just so many hidden junk in everything.
Like when we were in Jordan filming SEAL Team, the guys were like, dude, you got to go to McDonald's while you're here. I'm like, nah. I'm good. Like, no, it's different. It's like glorious.
It's
like,
actual burger.
And I went in and they cooked the fries in tallow. The burger was like the Big Mac had actually like real, and I ate it. I was like, this is the greatest. And I wasn't sick after, because the bread is like actually real bread. It was the greatest McDonald's. If you're into McDonald's and you want to find the best, go fly to Jordan. Seriously, fly. It is worth it. It is worth it to go. They even had the old apple pies.
Oh, yeah.
They were so good.
Yeah, they were so good.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Country Outdoors is proud to partner with Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America since 1829 and the official light lager of the outdoors.
To 100, I don't think I lose my enthusiasm.
The more things change, the more they stay the same around here. After 40 years of dirt, sticks, and leaves, I think it's safe to say the Mossy Oak family and brand are people that you can trust. So head to mossyoak.com and get your gear today. Tell me this. So your role as Sonny Quinn is, to this date anyway, probably the role that you're most known for, for sure. How many years did that show go for?
Well, we did it for 8 years, 7 seasons, but it was
crazy.
8 years. It was awesome, man. It was the blessing. Even more so now that it's ended, and looking back at it, like what a blessing that was.
Why did they end it how they ended it?
Oh, there's so many.
Such a question mark.
A big part of it had to do with the writer's strike.
That's right.
So and the actor's strike. So we were scheduled to go right into production, and we were 3 weeks out from going in, and the strike happened. I never wanted a strike. I got a lot of backlash for being vocal about it. I thought it was stupid, and we didn't get anything out of the strike. We just everyone got hurt more.
It went on for ages, didn't it?
Oh, so stupid.
Yeah.
And like
so much money lost by people
it's so short. Like, strikes suck.
Yeah.
They don't, like, we had one back in 2008. Nothing got out of it. We never recovered from that. And we got this. It's like there's absolutely no benefit to it. Like, negotiate while you're in work. And everyone's like, we're fighting against AI. I'm like, well, hey, guess what, guys? When you stop working, guess what happens? The studio realizes
more AI.
AI, because the AI is not going to strike. I'm glad people went and stood in the lines. I'm grateful for that effort, but it just, I just think
didn't have a good result for you at that time.
It's never had a good result. And how we see residuals now, they've never won anything.
Yeah.
And it's only hurt us. The guy that writes the check at the end of the day is the studio. They have all the power. Like, that's just the way it is. So it just, too many people that count on this, like the crew who are the backbone of any production. You know, those who people that get hurt the most.
Yeah.
That get absolutely
That
crushed
aren't getting paid that much.
because
to start with.
yeah, because the dad is usually like a grip, the mom is in wardrobe, the daughter is in craft service. Like it is their families. So and we were just coming out of COVID, we were just getting back on our feet, and they're like, let's strike. I'm like that, and they're like, we're gonna get them. I was like,
You can afford to be doing this, they can't.
yeah, and I couldn't even afford to be doing it either. It's
Yeah.
like that's a massive hit. Like I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
You know, it is. You know, this is the dismay about actors and making money. Yeah, we make good money, but you have to pay agent, manager, publicist. You get taxed insane, especially when you're shooting California. You just get like you're making a third of what you get paid.
Yeah.
So you make $1 million, you only take home $300,000.
Yeah.
Like that's fact. And then try and traveling your kids like.
And
so
if you're living in LA, that's
so it's
kissing it away.
yeah, and there's just this idea that it's just this endless amount, and truthfully, because of how badly our union negotiated residuals and what residuals were and what they are now, go to streamers and this, like you don't get anything anymore. Like before, you would make bank if it went to another. Now it's nothing. So the whole point of striking and the whole thing, not to get off in too much of a tangent, is just it's a bunch of. I mean, they've really screwed us. So, and the studios too, they've taken a bigger position. It's not like we're ever going to get that back.
Yeah.
So,
I had read somewhere or heard somewhere as well, like your particular character in the pollings was like the most popular character.
yes, he was. I mean, some people
Very
might.
lovable.
Yeah, I'm a lovable guy.
Yeah.
No, Sonny Quinn was definitely up there. But I can only be a fan favorite if it is for the actors that I'm surrounded by. So if I didn't have, the cast around me and the writing that they wrote for me to be able to play that character, I would just be a cog in the wheel. I didn't ask to be one of the favorites. I just embodied this guy, Sonny, that I've kind of through different operators that I hung out with, got to know them. I started to sort of put them together. This one guy, Goldie, really cool dude, that was at DevGru, and a couple other guys that I'd met through this guy, Ray Cash, his mannerisms and just his intensity. I saw this TV show called The Selection, and I remember like, so I would take little bits of this and then sort of came up with this character. But they also wrote me in a really fun way with my delivery to be sort of the door kicker and the knuckle dragger of the show. So I'm very grateful that people thought that of my character, but truth be told, I can't be the favorite of show if it wasn't for the amazing cast that I had around me to get to that performance and the writers to give me the material.
Mm-hmm. In terms of preparing for that role, what did that look like? Because you were a very believable SEAL. So what does that look like with those actual SEALs in terms of training?
Oh my God. It was pretty intense. I mean, I was a complete shit show at the beginning because we had a very short window to get ready for this. It wasn't like there was months and months. It was like 2 weeks before we did the pilot. So our CQB training and our boot camp, was pretty quick. But they were with us, every day. And then it was about the work we did on the weekends and the time we put in, which I put a lot in there of just, my going from my primary to my secondary and just understanding the weapons and how it worked. And I just fell in love with shooting guns and being around these guys. And there really is a brotherhood that, that I found with a lot of the guys. And what was really amazing about the, hey, Oaks.
Hey, Oaks.
Hey, just welcome to the podcast.
Talk about brotherhood.
Yeah, there he is. Hey, Oaks, out. Hey, he just does whatever he wants.
You can just sit down.
Hey, lay down. Sit. Your breast stinks. Yep, you've halitosis.
He had the brotherhood and he came in.
Yeah, lay down. Every podcast he comes and makes an appearance. Just open the door. Yeah. All right, thanks, buddy. Show your butt. Okay, he's out. but yeah, there's a real brotherhood with the guys, and I've made some lifelong friends there, and just really incredible dudes. And to see their work ethic, and there was definitely a pressure of them being on set every day, and you're portraying them. So
yeah, that's got to be intense.
it was, yeah. But I loved it. I loved everything. There wasn't a day that I didn't go to work and show up and be like, hey, I'm so grateful for this job. And
I feel like you probably felt like you had to get it, like honor them.
Yeah.
Like, because they're there watching too.
Yeah, and I had Max Terriot, who played Clay, and our partnership was called Slay, Sonny and Clay. I wrote #Slay because of the brotherhood that we had. And him and I became really close during the show because our wives were pregnant around the same time, or my twins and his son are 3 months apart. And so my wife and his wife went through those couple years together, which is crazy because when you're filming a show, you're kind of just paired up with new people and you're hoping and praying that they're cool. So Max and Lexi were just awesome people. And Lexi and my wife, we all lived within the same, area. But Max would drive to work every day and pick me up on the way. So we train all the time together, and, but that's all we did. We literally gym, train. I mean, it's just got paid to train every day. It was so much fun. That show was just, it's going to be a hard one to beat. I'm always a believer of the next one, what it will bring. But that one, I don't know if you can ever beat it.
Yeah.
It'll be its own experience, but just to get to the intensity of what that was and how much fun we had. It was hard work, but it was hard work I would do again in a second.
And it was such a popular show. It's like with Friends. They're never gonna beat Friends.
Ours was Friends with guns.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
Since 1973, the National Wild Turkey Federation has been working tirelessly to conserve the wild turkey and to preserve our hunting heritage. Visit nwtf.org and join for just $35 to leave a lasting legacy that will help conserve wildlife and unite a nation through life-changing power of the outdoors.
What was the most demanding scene in the entire 8 years of filming?
It was probably that episode there that I have up on the wall called Time to Shine. It was where I was trapped in a submarine tube, and I had to be put in this. They sort of made a replica of the tube, and they put me in this tube, and they would fill it up with water. And I'm not good with small spaces, so you're literally in there. And there was, I had my dragger, which is the thing that they use to no bubbles, no troubles when they're underwater. It's like scuba diving, but no bubbles go up. So I'm in there, and I've got my gun, and I've got thing, and you're sort of trapped in this thing, and water's coming, and it's pretty unnerving. So, I was in there for 3 or 4 days, and I was at the beginning, I'm like, hey man, keep the water really cold. I want to feel this. I totally peed in my wetsuit and said anything. I was trying to warm myself up. Maybe this would work. It worked for 2 minutes, and then I was like, now I'm sitting in my pee. But whatever. I'm a fake SEAL. It's what fake SEALs do. But no, that was a really intense one. And then I would say when Max left the show, I had to do this scene because he dies on the show, and I had to do a scene at his grave, and that was probably because it was such a pivotal moment in the series, and I wanted to pay it. Well, it's the first guy on our team that we lost, and I was really sad that when Max left. But so I was very focused on honoring that moment between the guy coming home, because when we're deployed, spoiler, we're actually deployed because he got injured. He was at home and something happened to him and he dies. So when we come back, we didn't actually make it back in time for the funeral. So me saying goodbyes to him at the graveyard. So I'd heard through some other guys how hard that was for them because they didn't have closure. So that, I think, from trying to emotionally get there and really feel connected to the material. And Spencer Hudnut, our showrunner, wrote an amazing episode and a very truthful scene for me to have that I could connect with it. And Chris Chulak, who is one of our main directors, our EP, set the tone and the vibe of the show out of the gates. He was directing, which I felt very safe with him. He was a man of very few words, but he could come in and just talk to me. And true, even with David Boreanaz there, I asked him if he could sort of be close by that I could connect with him. So you find these different things of who you want to talk to during the scene to kind of help you get there. But I would say those two were the toughest. The physical stuff, it was you would do, but you were just on such a high. You were flying around in Blackhawks, like playing guns. Like,
what about when you got blown up?
Yeah, that was tough. You know, I got injured. You know, I fell down a flight of stairs in Serbia and tore my L4, L5, C4, C5, C8, tore my meniscus and my labrum. But that wasn't that was tough, but it was like.
It wasn't emotionally. It was.
No, like it was part of. We have guys on our set that are missing limbs.
Yeah.
So I'm, I have a spray tan and I have a latte in my hand. Okay. Yeah. Let's just leave it there. I've already pissed them off out of the gates. So I'm not going to complain about having to do that. Plus, we were in like the best shape of our lives. We were constantly training and pushing each other. So it was like, who's gonna, But it was like the environment you needed to be around to train that material. Like I think it was the second or third season they brought a actual trailer that was a mobile gym for us. Mm. So it came everywhere. So in between, so we didn't have to get up at 3:30 whatever and go, hey Oaks, you back again?
In between sets, you could.
Yeah, we could just go and work out, which was great. Oaks, please, you got to go, buddy. You are just yeah, he does. Because Sean gives something. Oaks, out, buddy, out, go, out, go, out.
He's like, just in case you forgot, I'm still here.
But yeah, so it was the intensity of that something that I miss it because it was so structured, and it would run for 8 to 10 months out of the year.
Why did they choose to kill off Max like that?
Well, he had gotten fire country.
I knew that, but like, why when he was back at home and not?
Yeah, there was a lot. Listen, the internet went absolutely apeshit. A lot of people stopped watching the show.
Hold on, so we can tell people because it's out there.
Yeah, it's been out. Yeah, if you haven't,
he was stabbed by a random person.
No,
wasn't he?
He was shot by a mall cop.
A mall cop.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah,
but that's the way the showrunner wrote it, and just have to your job as an actor is to show up, say the lines that you're given, shut the fuck up, hit your mark, and go home.
Yeah,
the more that
Forrest.
Oh, we got Forrest. Hey,
oh my God.
This part of the show is brought to you by Purell, or not Purell. By this part of the show is brought to you by Kibbles and Bits. Hi, Forrest.
Okay, Forrest.
Right. Why are you a heavy breather, Forrest? Okay, go, good boy. So what were we talking about?
Why they decided to, and I'm sure that the fan reaction was not great.
No, I think even Spencer, the showrunner, got death threats, which is always so crazy when you all of a sudden hear someone being like, "You'd kill that person, I'm gonna kill you." It's like, all right, settle down, Cheeto fingers, like relax.
Yeah,
like go play Fortune. What is that? Fortnite. Go play Fortnite. So not that there's anything against Fortnite, I love Fortnite, but it's a little aggressive when you're threatening a showrunner that he killed a fictional character that you're going to go kill him. Doesn't really work. Mm-hmm. But it's good to see people are so emotionally connected. And, honestly, the show was different when Max wasn't there. I loved going to work with Max. Max was such a old pro, definitely an old soul. He'd been in the business for so long, so level-headed. And he was like, became one of my best friends, and it just felt different when he wasn't there. But Bo Knapp came in to replace him, who's another stud, serious, just a work ethic, just a great dude. Another guy I became really close with. Just a great human being. So he didn't replace Max.
He was a new character inserted to.
And then him and I kind of had a banter back and forth, which then made us think. And he was, like me, where a lot of the cast lived in LA still, and I'd moved away, and he was based out of Texas. So him and I were there in a sense of we didn't have our family and stuff there, so we connected over that. So, but it, look, it was one of the best jobs in the world. All good things come to an end. Mm-hmm. It did come to an end. It was a blessing. I did 7 seasons. I mean, CBS has been good to me. I did 9 seasons on CSI New York, and I've done 7 seasons on SEAL Team. So I'm hoping, the next, if it's another CBS show, for this this next part of my career, that it's another banger.
Love it. So getting kind of back then into the fitness thing, just to kind of wrap this all up on a bow, we've gone over the intake, the physicality, and the experience. Like, what advice would you give to maybe, whether it be somebody just on like a health journey or a young actor or young entertainer, what advice would you give in terms of like them starting and then, staying prepared?
Motivation is total bullshit. Discipline is what moves the needle.
Yeah.
If you were to meet a friend on Monday, right? You say, hey, I'm going to meet you for coffee on Monday. And you show up, you're sitting in the coffee shop, look in your watch, friend doesn't show up. You get a call later, oh, sorry, man, I got, but let's meet next Monday. Next Monday, you go to the coffee shop, you're like, hey, what are you doing? Where are you? That friend doesn't show up. This happens and happens again. Would you still hang out with that friend?
Yeah, no.
No. So I always say to people, it's like, why do you say you're going to start Monday and then don't? And you're not showing up for yourself. So stop being a pussy. Fucking man up, or whatever it is you need to do. Commit to yourself, because the only person that you're screwing over is yourself. You have to look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day. It sucks. It's not fun. But is going to the hospital fun? Is getting some sort of health issues fun? No. You have to implement some type of discipline and be accountable. You don't have to go crazy out of the gates. Like, introduce one thing at a time. And once you can get through the 2 weeks, be like, oh, I did, then introduce something else. But don't like literally allow yourself to, once you commit to that, commit to 30 days. Just 30 days of doing one thing.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, whether it's just getting up at a certain time or whatever, just choose one and like just implement discipline into your life. Stop with the I'm going to start on Monday.
Yeah.
If you're going to start now. Don't say I'm going to start Monday. Just make the decision to start. Because if you say you're going to start Monday, that means you're preparing to make an excuse that you went a little too hard on Sunday.
And you're probably going to binge eat until Monday.
Yeah, Monday. And then like, oh, this is my last meal. I'm going to give it, eat garbage.
Really go
which
out.
then just affects you in the morning. It's just like, no, just start. Just start. Because we only have today.
Yep.
Today's the gift.
I love it.
So
thank you, AJ.
There you go.
Absolutely love it. Well, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Please leave your comments. Please like, subscribe, and share with your mates.
Round here we all thank heaven for God's grocery store.